So for the second time today, and because he's from defense and I cannot, and he has a higher degree than I have, we are going to try a new way of doing presentation. This type of presentation also takes place in 5 minutes, but this one is called mitraillette.
All right. So 50 slides in 5 minutes. Let's go. So federal government and open data, as you know, federal government, it's hugely divided. In the military, they say divide and conquer. For government, that means it is a mess. You have multiple services, and that's not good. It's like the Hadoop ecosystem. You have lots of moving parts, and you don't know which one to choose from, or you need all of them to get somewhere, while actually we just want to query some data and do something with it. As I said in my previous talk, innovation often comes from the outside, so let's look at the USA. Just a month ago, Dr. DJ Patil was appointed as the Chief Data Officer of the White House. And he also invented the term data science a bit longer ago than a month ago. But he was appointed as the Chief Data Officer for the White House. And apparently his mission is, how do we responsibly unleash the power of data for the benefit of the American public and maximize the nation's return on investment in data? That's a bold mission, and I think the key word is responsibly. We cannot put everything in the open. He also said open data is a little force multiplier that makes the systems we all depend on better. And that's very important because everybody here, we like data and we need data. We actually crave for it like we crave for chocolate or beer, which Philip is giving me a crate of when I make this in 5 minutes. We can also look at the UK. I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, they appointed also a Chief Data Officer. His name is Mike Bracken, and he comes from the local services of the UK government. And one of his key phrases is that strategy is delivery, often, iteratively, and repetitively. It's very important for a government not to take years to build something. We need to move fast. We need to behave like a startup and move really, really fast. One of his first tweets as a CDO was this one. We need to support leaders that are already in government, like at the local levels or the regional levels. And on the federal level, they need to set the rules of the road for the government and the users, and also develop standards. Like in Belgium, we have Ghent, who is pretty good at doing open data, but we also have Antwerp, but they all have different platforms. And that's something we need to avoid. So where is Belgium's Chief Data Officer? I have no idea who it is, and I work for the government. We have a service called FedIct. I think they're still here. Are you still here? Yeah. Oh, okay, nice. And there's a bold guy here. He visits everything, but they're not part of the conversation of open data. Maybe they're waiting for legislation to open up already open data. And I think that's a mistake. So next slide. Okay. Well, we don't need legislation, maybe. We just need a platform where we can access the data from. And here's where I want to introduce GAP, which is government as a platform. And government should be looked at as a platform that can be useful for its citizens. And it shouldn't be looked at as a cost. As a civil servant, that's our duty. If you look outside, there's already platforms for that. So CCAN and GitHub is pretty much everything we need to build an open data platform. It even powers the White House already. They publish their budget, 3 CSV files on GitHub. It's easy as that. It takes you 5 minutes if you have the CSV file. This is it, 3D printed or 3D projected in Excel, just using one CSV file. And they also have a platform called data.gov built on CCAN. It looks pretty nice, and you can even directly use the data published on it. You can open it at Plotly or plot geographical data in CartoDB, which looks like this in Plotly or like this on CartoDB. They also have an analytics platform where they use Google Analytics for all the government websites. They integrate it into one big website, which is pretty impressive. They also have an open data dashboard. Even the French have an open data platform. They didn't use données.gouv.fr. They used data. I don't know why. That's pretty strange for French people to use an English thing. And you can even update data published on it. Here comes Verdict. They actually have a platform already. It's called data.gov.be. And it looks like this. It's a WordPress, and I think there's a secant behind it, but I'm not sure. Drupal? Okay. Oh, wow, it's Belgium. And they even have a terms of use page, which is very long, which I didn't see on the other platforms. This is how the data looks like. There's lots of things in it. If you go for the, I'm making wind here, so let's look at the wind turbines of Flanders. There's no way to use the data. You have to click somewhere, and then you end up at a 404. But we'll get there eventually. Thank you.